The great philosopher Henry Ford once said, "Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, but this time more intelligently." Now we take this quote and look into perspective today on the Weekend Voting Act. Now, we're going to look back to the past, to the 1830s, to look at the failure of the Weekend Voting Act. Now, you see in the 1830s, according to New York Times article, states that back then, Tuesday was the most convenient day to hold an election. Everyone was able to go to town on Tuesday, and most population that could vote voted. But what we need to see was that was the right decision for back then. But now we need to look to the future to see that currently, according to a recent New York Times article published on February the 28th, states that only 60% of everyone that's eligible to vote actually votes. Now, what we can see from this, if we look to my parents, for example. See, my mother and father haven't voted in the last 4 elections. Now, I don't know if it's because they don't like to vote or they just don't care, but I think it's because they don't have time out of their day to go out and do this. Because since they both work from 9 to 6, the election time slot, they get home, they don't want to go vote. That is why this Weekend Voting Act is going to change the day for voting from Tuesday to Saturday. Now, this vote isn't very complicated in many of its ways. The entire legislation is only going to change this from Tuesday to Saturday, just to clear things up here. For the con, might throw out that they think Saturdays aren't very convenient, but come on, most population is off work on a Saturday. So this would be an easy win for the American people, because it's projected that if we do this on a Saturday, that over 90% of all people eligible to vote will go out and will have more of an opportunity to actually vote in the election. Now, what this means for American people is when it comes to the election time in 2016, that this piece of legislation gets passed, we'll be more preempted to go and vote, and we'll get a more clearer election, which can help out the American public, so it'll be less unfair for anyone else. So now we need to look to the great philosopher Henry Ford once again. See, the failure was back then putting it on a Tuesday, which worked for the time, but now we have the opportunity as a Congress to come together and make things right for the American people. For my representatives back home, really would like to be able to vote on Saturday instead of Tuesday. That is why I stand in firm affirmation for this bill. Vote on Tuesday. Vote on Saturday. My mistake. Sorry about that.